In this video, we'll be talking to you guys about the crazy weather pattern where we're expecting record-breaking cold for the south and the central plains, and in fact, there might be a foot of snow for the north central region. Welcome everybody, my name is Shuman, and I'm sorry for not uploading videos too often and posting YouTube shorts. I've been gone due to midterms, I've been sick, I'm starting to feel better, the weather's been getting cooler, so obviously I'm getting sick. But look at the weather pattern. We got fire weather watches out in the west. We got fire weather watches out in the west. We got flood watches for the southwest because they've been getting a lot of rainfall recently, with the monsoon still persisting going on. And much of the central and the south, especially in Alabama and the southeast, you might see record-breaking cold the next few days, where some regions could get to below freezing for the first time in October. And then lastly, we'll be discussing to you guys about the UP of Michigan and northern Wisconsin, where some places could get close to a foot of snow. Look at this. They're showing you guys over 6 to 12 inches of snow near Marquette, but some models hinting over a foot of snow for UP. In fact, there might be some snow showers as far south as Indiana and possibly near Chicago in the next couple of days before a warm up. And then we'll talk about the long range models where we could hint of a potential major snowstorm developing in the next few weeks. Welcome everybody, my name is Shuman, and we'll be talking to you guys here using the Tropical Tidbits weather forecast. And we'll be discussing you guys first about the weather pattern and how it's expecting to be record-breaking cold temperatures for the next couple of days before we get back to some intense heat and then maybe some cold air coming up. So when we first looking at the anomalies, so you guys can see right now currently there's a polar vortex all over the north central regions, which is why we're seeing snow potential coming up the next few days. In fact, it is snowing in the UP of Michigan. A couple days ago, we got over an inch of snow, 2 inches of snow in parts of Michigan and Minnesota, and snow showers close to Madison, Wisconsin. So look at this. This is forecasting to be tomorrow. Supposed to be the coldest temperature. In fact, it may only be 40 degrees as far south as Peoria, Illinois. We'll show you guys temperatures, but look at this. I was talking to you guys. We're gonna have a ridge up west and a trough in the central, which is a kind of a polar vortex. I'll show you guys how this will continue to develop, and it'll get even colder. Look at this. This is over 30 degrees temperature below average for parts of Tennessee, Kentucky, and northern Alabama. And even in Missouri and Iowa, this whole region is going to be experiencing record-breaking cold. I mean, you're going to see record high temperatures for cold high temperatures and temperatures in the south where you don't normally get to below freezing. I'll show you guys in a few minutes. But it continues to keep on moving east before we're going to get a heat wave. And this heat wave right here, you can see when we get something like this coming in with the cold air just to the north clashing with the warm air coming to the south. This could develop into a potential snowstorm, if not severe weather, for part of the Great Plains and the South Plains, as well as it moves its way east before we get some more Arctic air, and just looks like a lot of Arctic air is going to be coming up with some warm temperatures in the middle. This is just from the GFS model. We're going to look at the Canadian model as well, just to show you guys what it's forecast to be. As you can see, this is for Tuesday. This one's a little bit more south and west, but both showing that record-breaking cold before we get back into some heat wave. But when we normally have something like this, which is around the same time, both models hinting at some severe weather. I think this will be severe weather. Whenever you have a cold front with clashing between two air masses, you're going to get severe weather. So I won't be surprised if we get some severe weather out ahead of this cold front as it moves its way east before we might get some more warm air coming back before the Arctic air could come back in the rest of the month. So what does this mean for temperature wise? We'll look at the Canadian model just to show you guys what temperatures are going to be forecast to be when this ends, and let's show you guys what the temperature forecast is supposed to be. So as you can see here, we're going to show you guys, look at this. We're expecting temperatures near 40 degrees in the southwest, low 20s for Iowa, teens for Fargo, teens for Sioux Falls, South Dakota, low 20s for low temperatures. And look at this. This is even more crazy. Tuesday morning, we might be in the single digits up in Winnipeg, and look at that, 24 degrees there in the mountains of North Carolina. Look at that, 29 degrees. I'm going to zoom this in. 29 degrees forecast in the mountains of near Knoxville, Tennessee. 33 near Huntsville. Below freezing near Memphis. Kansas City, 25 degrees. Peoria, 29 degrees. This is historic. In fact, northern Alabama, I saw a fact that near Huntsville, if it gets below 32 degrees, which is a possibility, that'll be the first time in almost 100 years since we've been that cold in northern Alabama. And seeing 29 degrees up in the mountains of Georgia, that is crazy. That what we're expecting. High temperatures, let's look at that, only in the low 40s. Low 40s. It should be in the 60s and 70s in this region. 50 degrees in Birmingham, Alabama, and Jackson, Mississippi. That is insanely cold. 40 degrees for Peoria. Okay, that's not too bad. But look at this in the southeast. Let's zoom into the southeast just to show you guys how cold it's expected to be. Look at that. You'll be in the 30s for high temperatures near Boone, North Carolina. 47 degrees near Asheville. Unbelievable. And it just gets colder and colder. Look at 30 below freezing again on Wednesday for Nashville, Tennessee. And look at it, gets even worse. 27, 25, 24 near Knoxville. Look at that. And high temperatures in the 40s and 50s. That is incredibly cold before a couple more days. And look at that. Thursday continues to be even colder from the Canadian model, with temperatures in the teens and 20s, the low 20s. Unbelievable. Before we get some warm air and we rebound back to average. And what does that mean for the north central region? Just for you guys to see. Look at this. A couple days ago. Look at that. Hard freeze on Friday morning. Temperatures all across Illinois below freezing before we start to rebound back above average. So we're going to take you guys back to the entire United States forecast so you guys can see how temperature will forecast to play out for the rest of, sorry, slow, but the rest of this. That is crazy what we're expecting. Incredibly low temperatures, high temperatures are going to be breaking high temperatures. And we see the ridge comes on the play and we get back in the 50s and even 70 degrees before we'll see the cold front, which will load up in a few minutes, come in from the north and to northeast, which will bring, look at that, cold air temperatures and warm air, which could become some severe weather. So now I'm taking to you guys about the long range. Let's take a look at the Canadian showing guys for the entire run with the precept first up. So we'll start from the beginning. I'll work us way till the end to see what the Canadian model is hinting for the precept. So this is what I want to show you guys, why there's a winter storm warning for the UP of Michigan, due to the fact they're about to see some heavy snowfall. Currently we're getting lake effect rain because the temperature is a little bit too north. Let's show you guys, let's go with the NAM. Let's show you guys NAM 3 kilometer, just so you guys can see what the snowfall is expecting for this region. So as early as tonight, we could see some snow developing for UP. And look at this. You might get some snow showers potential as far south as Janesville, Wisconsin. But look at this. Since the low pressure system is over Canada right now, which we talked about. We talked about this last week, that there's a low pressure system that will come in. It's going to be drawing in. This is the Arctic air that's been coming in a few days, which is why we've been seeing a northwest wind all across the Great Plains, and the Great Lakes region. And as you get a northwest wind, you get cold air. Once it gets below freezing, over the warm, very warm waters, because it has not been, this is the first time we're seeing freezing temperatures. We're going to get lake effect snow. I mean, these parts of the U.S. gets a lot of lake effect snow, but this is a lot. And in fact, you might get some lake effect snow as far south as South Bend, Indiana. It's gonna be some moderate to heavy. This is gonna be mostly sleet across the Michigan coastline. But look at it, you're gonna get some heavy snowfall across Marquette, Houghton. Oh my, unbelievable. Alpena's gonna get a lot of snow. Even maybe even as far south, you might get some snow near Grand Rapids, Michigan. But this will continue to develop, and it's gonna cause a lot of heavy snowfall all across Michigan. But look at this, even some lake effect snow in Ohio. But this continues to move it. The problem is this Arctic air is not gonna move till Friday, so you're gonna get rounds and rounds of snow until Friday before we get some temperatures to develop. How much snowfall? Look at it. Okay, don't look at this. This is a lot, but remember this is 10 to 1. So you can cut this in half because snowfall is really going to be more like 15 to 20 to 1. So let's say they show you 30 inches snow, really small like 15 inches snow. So overall expect widespread foot plus near Marquette, Michigan, down to Ishpeming, all the way even as far west as Rylander, Wisconsin. That's where I expect you guys, Iron Mountain, that region, to expect Ashland. You might get a foot of snow. You might even get a couple inches of snow near South Bend and down south. But look at Canada getting a lot of snow as well. But this will all melt next week when we get back to warm, record-breaking temperature, heat wave coming up. So now we're going to be taking you guys a look at the Canadian and show you guys. Let's look at how much snow the Canadian's showing you guys. 10 to 1. Again, 12 to 15 inches of snow. I won't. It's a safe bet, a foot of snow near, just west of Marquette, Michigan. But even this one's hinting maybe some dusting of snow, potentially, maybe some snowflakes falling near Chicago. Indianapolis, maybe even getting some snowfall. So now we're going to look at the consensus model to show you guys what the entire U.S. is showing. So we'll go back with the Canadian. Because this Arctic air, which is coming from this low pressure system, is going to get stalled out to the east because the high pressure system out in Greenland is going to take its time. It's going to rotate very slowly. You might get some snow near Columbus, Pittsburgh, Buffalo might get some snowflakes. But once this moves, we expect some warmer temperatures. And then right about here, this time, we might get some severe weather. This could be severe weather. I might be interested. If this happens on the weekend, it could be a chase, I'll see, but this is going to be severe weather. This always happens. This is why October and November is known for a secondary severe weather for the Midwest, because we're going to have a clash of two ones. We're going to have a summer like fall and summer like temperatures with 70 degrees temperatures clashing with below freezing temperatures. Last year we had the same problem, but in December, where we had tornadoes in Minnesota and Iowa. I won't be surprised if we get tornadoes. Hey, in fact, we had tornadoes only a couple days ago by the same thing that happened a few days ago near Milwaukee, Wisconsin. This will produce some severe weather, especially over here in western Illinois, eastern Iowa, northern Wisconsin, northern Missouri, and Wisconsin. This could be tornadoes. This could at least be damaging winds. It'll move out of here, and we're going to get another round of severe weather. This could be worse, in my opinion, and impact more people. This is why you get tornadoes even in October and rise the tornado count. This could definitely produce some severe weather, and as you get some snow up to the north. So usually this low pressure system drives in from the south like this does. You have cold air, snow in the north, and warm air in the south. This could produce some tornadoes and some severe weather outbreaks. Let's look at what the GFS will continue to show you. Let's see what the GFS is showing you guys. GFS is a little crazy, which is why this video is going to be titled like this. So let's show you guys what the GFS is showing you guys. Long range one. So GFS again. So we'll continue to be in UP, Michigan. How much snowfall they're expecting in northern Wisconsin, Michigan. As well, we'll quickly zoom in just so you guys can see that. Overall, same thing. Expect close to a foot of snow just west of where Marquette is. Now we're gonna go to consensus and let's look at the. Let's see what the model is showing you guys. So we're gonna have some breaks. We're gonna get some warm temperatures. This is very classic potential spring setup. We're gonna get a historic snowstorm. If this happens, I'll be crazy. Look at this. You're gonna get a blizzard potentially for the Dakotas and Montana for the pretty much the Great Plains. If this occurs, we're gonna get some major icing near Fargo. Bismarck will get some blizzard conditions. Rapid City into Montana. I mean, this could happen. But the setup we're expecting, I mean, I could easily see this. I mean, this is not like a crazy outlier thing. I mean, it's only 20 hours away, but this is not a crazy setup with this type of forecast we're expecting. We're going to have 70-degree temperatures for Illinois and Iowa, and 20s and 30s out in the west. And this will produce some heavy snow. Okay, this part is, I don't believe, but this, again, as the cold front comes in, we might get some snow in Wisconsin and Iowa, but it's too far to think about. And, oh my god, any more snowstorms? No. Nothing else, but let's show you guys how much snowfall could that region get. So let's go to and zoom into the north central region, and let's show you guys how much snowfall is expected. Unbelievable. I'm gonna zoom into the northwest. Look at that. Potentially 2 feet of snow coming up. I mean, it's all hype. We'll have to wait to see if other models hinting it, but models are hinting that we might see a severe weather, at least some severe weather for the northwest. I mean, for the north central region between the 24th and 26th, as we get the clash of two systems. So now let's talk about one more thing before we end the episode, and that's going to be talking to you guys about the flooding that's been going on and some rainfall that could happen in the southwest. Don't expect much anymore, but gotta keep you guys updated as well. If there's even any rainfall coming up, yep. So look at that. You can get some monsoon rainfall continues to develop. This is due to some subtropical jets being very active right now, with some hurricanes and tropical storms that have been developing in the West Pac currently, but as you can see, it continues to develop into New Mexico and West Texas. I gotta zoom in. Probably go to the South Central. I think South Central would be better. But this was pretty devastating. The next few days, expecting some heavy rainfall for the Delaware Valley, El Paso, Carlsbad, Santa Fe, Las Vegas, even down in eastern New Mexico. But this doesn't include Lubbock area, but eastern New Mexico near Clovis might continue to get some rainfall. Hobbs, New Mexico, but a lot of rainfall for Texas, which is what there's a flash flood watch for the next at least 24 hours, maybe 36 hours before the cold front passes by. But some more rainfall for South Texas near Brownsville and Corpus Christi before that ends. So how much rainfall you expect across the region? Look at that. 1 to 3 inches for pretty much from Santa Fe down to Hobbs, includes Clovis, El Paso, the Rio Grande Valley, Delaware, all that places in near Abilene, even some measurable rainfall near Lubbock and Amarillo. So guys, thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button, subscribe. We'll catch you guys for another video, depending on how I'm feeling. I'll probably record another video tomorrow talking to you guys about the snowstorm and the potential historic cold as well, with a foot of snow is expecting for parts of the United States. So guys, thanks for watching. Subscribe, and I'll catch you guys for another video. Enjoy the rest of the day, everybody. Goodbye.